it can't be like all about you all the time. I don't think we were meant to like always be so caught up in, my next move, whatever, my next meal, what I'm gonna do this weekend. Like, be able to like come out of that and really see what's actually happening around you in the world and be able to lend yourself to something bigger than yourself.
Gabby Wilson, one of the coolest gymnasts to come out of the University of Michigan. Welcome to Hail to Her.
What's up, Haley?
I'm so glad we're finally able to do this.
Yes.
You were such an icon on the team at Michigan, and I feel like you've been around the athletic department forever since then, and it's been really cool to see, but I really want to highlight your transition out of college gymnastics. So tell me a little bit about what you've done since graduating from Michigan.
Yeah. So, as you know, I was still involved with the athletic department a year after I retired from the team. I was in a position called the Big Ten Fellow, and which it doesn't mean anything. You have to make it mean something, I learned.
Yeah.
But it's like a role for a former student athlete to learn the behind the scenes of athletics administration. So I did that for about a year and a half, and that was kind of like this rotation of, different projects that I could do in different units of athletics. So I did a lot with the Career Center. Shout out Maurice and
Shout out Julie.
and Crystal. And then also I did some things with marketing, some things with development, fundraising. I did moderating panels for donors and things like that. And I really, felt drawn to the leadership development aspect of things. So I was able to host a lot of programming for student athletes regarding just their personal leadership styles and just how to really lead throughout their sport and beyond. So I did that for about a year and a half, and then I transitioned into my current role, which is like a program advisor for student organizations up on campus for the Center for Campus Involvement. I didn't know this, but Michigan has over 1,900 student organizations. And so my job is over their leadership development programming and then like the new organizations processes and like getting people to become new organizations and stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Did you always want to do that? What kind of brought you into that world?
So it's interesting because I do, and I still do love working with athletes. I feel like having gymnastics was a very great leadership development tool for myself. And with student organizations, for a lot of those students, that's like their sport per se.
Yeah.
What they really commit to, it's where they find their community, it's where they do their professional development, and that's kind of what gymnastics and lacrosse was for you. And so I really enjoy working with students that have that passion towards something and then helping them be the best leaders that they can in the space that they're in. So that's kind of how I made that connection.
Yeah, it's really cool. And you do your 1 Minute Mondays and all of those different things, and it's really cool to see the fact that your leadership has translated out of your sport and it's been so fluid out of that. Kind of explain finding your purpose outside of a sport you've played since you were a little girl.
Yeah. I'm so grateful to have been a gymnast for so long. It's opened up so many doors. I'm sure you can say the same for lacrosse. But, they tell you when you're in college, you need to develop yourself in other ways. So when you get out of here, you know what to do and you know who you are.
Yeah.
And I think, in college, I did that. I really tried to be involved in so many different things, whether it was, DEI initiatives, being a chair member in SAC, just doing things with NIL and trying to do advocacy for organizations that I felt passionate about. And then you still get out and you're like, you really don't know what it's like until you're actually in it.
It's impossible to prepare.
It's impossible to really prepare. And what I came to realize is that I really wish that my sense of purpose didn't have to shift to something else. I think the problem is that we feel like we have to find a new purpose when we should have had a purpose already that wasn't rooted in what we were doing. One, because we're just human and we fall short all the time, but also because like you're not always going to be doing the same thing all the time, whether it's, being a student, whether it's being an athlete, or if it's a job that you have, or like, you become a parent or you become a spouse. Like there's just so many life transitions that you can't connect your purpose to what you're doing. Like it has to be connected to just like who you are as a person. And so what I've been trying to do with these student organizations is helping these students develop themselves through their values, right? And just like what it means to be them is being able to act in alignment with things that are important to them. And so that's what I was trying to do with the student athletes while I was still at Michigan. It's just, I mean, I know the job market is whatever right now, but we are student athletes from the University of Michigan. We know, even if we don't have a job right now, we know how to go and get one. We know how to network and make those connections and do all those things. But like, who are you? And if your purpose is connected to whatever job that you get, you're never going to feel fulfilled. And so coming out of gymnastics, it was like, I did feel like I had to kind of find a new purpose. I realized that, my purpose should have always been in the Lord and Jesus Christ. And I had to figure that out, kind of coming out of it. But if I would have had that rooted, and it wouldn't have felt like I had to find a new purpose. It would have just been like, okay, how is my purpose going to manifest itself in what I do next? Because you already know what it is. And so I think that's really the learning curve that I had to go on and a lot of people are on right now.
I really appreciate you saying that because I've felt that and so many people feel that, but there are no real there are resources that people can try to create that will help with that.
Yeah.
But there's not many that can really prepare you. And I think it's so hard to not attach yourself to your sport. But I wish I knew the things that you're saying right now. I wish I knew that I had the same purpose, but how am I going to use that in what I'm doing after sport? Like, it really is like you have to reinvent yourself. And that's just not the reality of how it can be. And I think it's special that you're trying to create something like that.
Thanks.
How do you think you were able to recognize that in yourself and have the tools to be able to teach it to people?
Yeah. I'm always just looking for the next thing. I think gymnastics, you're trying to get as close to perfection as possible. And in a way that's having this achievement mindset. The harder I work, the more I do, the better my routine's going to be, the higher the score is going to be, and then we win. Yay. But like in life, like you can't be so achievement oriented. Because it's like, we had a meet every single week. How many games did you have? Like a week or like a month?
1 to 2
a
week, yeah.
More than that. Like we had so many like chances to feel that adrenaline rush, to perpetuate that achievement feeling of like we either win or we lose, but we always want to win. We have that adrenaline and every single week. And it's like, when
it's not like that.
It's not like that in real life. Like you get to work and you do your work, you put your best foot forward, you're diligent. And then you go home. There's nothing spectacular about that.
Yeah.
Like
everything's so spread out. It's like, oh, you get your job. Okay, 5 years, maybe you get a promotion. Like, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like, that is probably why athletes feel a sense of like loss because they're not getting that dopamine or that win feeling as often as they did before. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. And even at practice, like when you have a good practice, your teammates are patting you on the back, your coaches are, giving you your flowers and saying all this stuff every single day. Our academic advisors, when they go on the recruiting trips, are talking about how amazing we are and, all the great things that we do and how we're able to balance all these things. And you have the recruits looking up to you and the kids looking up to you and the parents are on the team and your parents and blah, blah, blah. It's just so much admiration all the time. It really is. And, for good reason. We work really hard. We're committed to what we're doing. But, it's not like that. You might have a boss that isn't great at giving you positive feedback, and you need to be able to continue to keep working. Shout out to my supervisor, she's that girl. But like so I think that's when I realized, I'm like, why am I always looking to achieve something, to like do something else, to
because you don't know any different.
Yeah.
And
it's like we're told that it's a good thing in a lot of ways, that we're going out of our way to make the world better and to work really hard, but on the back end of that, like, are you okay with just sitting in a mundane 9 to 5? And what are you, in,
Yeah.
where you're just not getting that hit of dopamine every day, every week, every month.
Wow.
You're not working towards a championship. What's the championship?
Yeah. It's such a real thing, and I truly think about it all the time. Like, I wish that there was a tool for people to use to figure that out. But it's great. Like, it's a feeling that everyone has, but you can't really put words to it. But the fact that you're putting words to it right now, I'm like, how does she know all of, like, to say all of this stuff? Like, talk about kind of rebranding.
Yeah.
Not rebranding yourself, but finding your identity, who you really were outside of gymnastics. How did you do that?
How did I do that? I think I'm in the process of rebuilding my identity as a child of God. That is like completely opposite of any achievement mindset, right? I'm going to the other end of the spectrum. I am enough because he loved me first, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm still every day just like, that's what they mean, pick up your cross and follow him every day. But like, that's what I'm trying to rebuild myself on, is that, I'm not enough because we won a national championship. I'm not enough because I got this new job, right? I'm enough because I'm carrying out the purpose that, he has for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm still learning. I can't say that I've done that, but I'm trying to help people realize, like, especially young athletes, as they're going through this process, to really feel a sense of identity in the person that they are and the person that they're becoming. So yeah, but it's a long process. Again, process oriented, not, achievement.
Yeah. So when you lost the structure of going to practice and going to class and doing that, how did you lean on the Lord or lean on those things in your life to specifically find direction for yourself?
At first, I didn't. When I first started my job as the Big Ten fellow, I was just trying to fill up all of that time with other things, whether it was, waking up really early to do workouts, or, staying late at the student athlete events when I didn't necessarily have to be there, just really feeling like my life still had to be boom, 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 boom. And so that's what I did at first. And now I'm really trying to like evaluate my intentions for doing things, right? Like,
I love that.
you know what I mean? Like, why am I going so hard on this workout right now? Like, what is,
Me?
you know what I mean? Like, why? And, some of the time it's really is to, I want to feel good about myself. I want to, have that body for the summertime, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's usually not like a pure reason. Usually it's not. And so now when I try to do things, I try to just, okay, if the intentions aren't like pure, for the Lord, then I need to reevaluate why I'm doing that thing. Because I think the world tells you to, and even as an athlete, like, we had to invest so much time and energy into ourselves. Like, I know lacrosse is a team sport. You still have to play your role. You still have to play your position. You still have to, strengthen whatever you need to strengthen to be the best at your role. In gymnastics, it feels very individualized. No one can get up and do your routine for you. But I think in real life, like, in order to really find yourself, you have to, like, forget about yourself sometimes. It can't be, like, all about you all the time. I don't think we were meant to, like, always be so caught up in, my next move, whatever, my next meal, what I'm going to do this weekend. Like, be able to, like, come out of that and really see what's actually happening around you in the world and be able to lend yourself to something bigger than yourself. So that's what I try to do. I think we'll talk about my LLC a little bit later, but, like, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. This is kind of a deep question, but I'm curious, how do you know when you're doing something if it's for the Lord? Like, how do you do things in a way that is for him, if that makes sense?
I think, like, I'll give an example of, like, looking for jobs, right? It gets to a point where someone can be just so anxious about getting a job that they are simply looking for jobs out of anxiety because they are afraid that they will not get one. And I guess someone who really is trusting in God that he's going to provide and that he knows that you need a job and he's going to give you something that's actually going to work out according to his purpose. You know, they might be applying, they might be getting these interviews. They're not going to maybe take the first one that comes out. They might not take the first offer. They might not just be constantly applying to jobs over and over and over again that maybe don't align with what they actually want to do, or, you know, just to get in where you fit in. I think that's like kind of the mindset that a lot of us have. It's just like we need to get in where we fit in. And so I think a lot of it is like being patient. It's like, okay, am I rushing this for some reason? Why am I rushing it? Because I'm anxious about it, because I'm scared that it's not going to work out and I just want it to be done. And so I think when you do things for the Lord, you aren't really afraid to sit in that patience or like sit in that just discomfort of not really knowing like what's going to come next or like how things are going to work out. And I'm still reconciling like what holy ambition looks like. Like, you know, it's like the Lord, he wants us to work hard, but it's like, are you working hard for like your own benefit, or are you really working hard for something that you know the Lord has called you to do?
Yeah.
And there's a difference that I'm still discovering today.
But I think what's so cool about that is you're actively taking steps to find that. And prime example of that is your LLC. So talk about that.
Yeah.
Your LLC.
So I launched the Gabby Wilson LLC back in December, and I've been working on it for a while, and I kind of birthed out of my 1 Minute Mondays, right? Like, how do I actually bring these to life and bring these lessons to people face to face? And so I started out first building this program called Discover Your Inner Champion. And what it was like a values-based regimen to confidence building. Because a lot of the questions I get from, you know, young athletes, how do I build confidence in the gym? How do I feel more confident in competition? And I really think it comes down to being confident in your own decisions, like in general. And I think when it comes to having values and knowing how to like operationalize those values by making decisions that honor those values, that is when you're making decisions that you're proud of. And in turn, you'll continue to have that positive reinforcement, whether or not people agree with you, you know, whether or not it even works out. But like, you know that you made a decision based on something based on like a value that's important to you, and that brings you pride in who you are, not what you do, not the outcome. So that was like the program that I kind of built first. I've done a couple of sessions so far. I started kind of with the women's gymnastics team doing like team leadership sessions. And then I had another session with the University of Michigan athletics maintenance team, which was so interesting. A lot of like guys that are my dad's age, but it was so fun. And now I'm working with Gym America. They're a local gym here in Ann Arbor, and we're doing a program series called Character for Life. So again, just like helping these athletes become attached to who they are as people, and how that in turn will help them develop as an athlete and be a better teammate and all of these things. But I think what really birthed the idea of the LLC was my commitment to like sustaining excellence over time across a bunch of areas of my life at the same time. And I think the way you do that is to be really rooted in your values and knowing how to stay disciplined in that, in operationalizing those values. So I want to help other people do the same.
When was the moment that you think you discovered your inner champion or those things from your program that you built?
When I came to Michigan as a freshman, they always say you become a little fish in a big pond. When you come from, you're a big fish in a little pond. Honestly, Olympia, everyone was like tea, so I can't really say that. But you come to Michigan and there's, okay, now I need to be excellent, not just in the gym. I need to be excellent at school. And I need to be excellent in the extracurriculars that I do. I need to have time for extracurriculars and make that a commitment. And I think it really got to a point where my freshman year, for myself, I didn't feel like I performed up to my potential. It was very hard on me mentally to really perform at the best that I could. You know, I had some meets in there where I was almost there, but like I didn't really get to that peak, I don't think, until like my junior year. And so it got to this point of like I can't just have my confidence rooted in my gymnastics right now, because if I did, I wouldn't have confidence. So it really became, who am I, and why does that make me proud of to be who I am and to do what I'm doing?
Yeah.
And so I think during that freshman year, because I started my 1 minute Mondays that next November in my sophomore year, and I just wanted to share that message, but then also do something that I knew like I was really passionate about, and then share that and not have it be about, you know, the outcome. And gymnastics is just so outcome oriented. You either do it or you don't.
Yeah.
So it's like I liked having this thing that was more nuanced, that was helping people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your definition of, I know you were highlighted it already a little bit, but how you define outside of sport yourself and what you would consider like you as a champion, like what is that to you?
Yeah. So, yes, the champion is like being a champion in all the things that are important to you,
Yes.
right? Like I'm trying to teach the athletes, okay, even if you don't win first place, how are you being a champion of your values? How are you being a champion in integrity, you know, in character, things that like really matter, things that people can't take away from you, right? Things that
Yeah.
people can't beat you at, you know, like no one can, they can't beat me in my own values, things like that. So to me, like I did a program with Michigan Athletics called Rediscovering Your Inner Champion. And that was a program helping student athletes learn like how to be a champion like after sport in different aspects. So like one of them we did like negotiating a salary, you know, knowing how to find a good doctor, patient-centered care, like other things that we were like good diet, how to work out around a 9 to 5 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
so it feels like you're rediscovering how to be a champion in your life now that you aren't an athlete anymore. And so now with the Discover Your Inner Champion, it's helping now on the back end. How do you discover who you are as a champion in yourself before you get to college? And honestly, everything is pretty achievement oriented and you want to be in the lineup, you want to be in the game. How do you discover your inner champion before those tests so you don't end up putting your identity in
In the
your
result.
sport, in the
Yeah.
result? Yeah. So now I'm like trying to be proactive with the younger generation. Like, let's try to not.
Let's do this now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's like, at what age do you do it? Because when you're in high school, it feels like that time is so far away, but that's the only time where you've got a little bit more free time before everything's taken up in college and you're focused on your sport in the professional sense. And, you know, I think Michigan Athletics does a really good job of providing access and resources to student athletes, but like you said, it's impossible to like fully prepare. So I appreciate what you're doing for younger athletes, especially gymnasts, because and you're doing it at your former gym.
This is Gym America.
Okay.
Right now, this is the first time I'm actually working with a gym, like through my
Wow.
LLC. And so I'm trying, they're really close to my work, so it's just really convenient. And I'm hoping to expand out to
Yeah.
different gyms and
Would you do other sports?
do the thing. I would. Yeah. I think I would definitely need to learn more about the nature of the sport. I know a lot about gymnastics. I lived it. And so there's just a way that I can connect with those gymnasts that would just take more rapport with other athletes.
Yeah.
But everyone needs this. And when your question about when do you do it, like, I mean, I'm not like a child development specialist, but whenever you really start becoming aware of your thoughts,
Yeah.
and like, you know, and
Yeah.
have the ability to be self-aware.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty young, but I think it can be really basic of just like, you know, they say to do those positive affirmations in the mirror, like tell yourself who you are and the aspects of yourself that make yourself proud that aren't result oriented.
Yeah.
you can start doing that so young, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. I think I might have to connect with you and do this for me, because I'm like feeling, you reflect on it, like I really do feel like there are things I missed out on, of like, didn't know that, like, I know what my values are, but like I didn't know how I can reframe that and use it to my advantage of shifting in this era of life. Do you think you got that from your parents? Because they were all American athletes in college. Where do you think this passion grew from?
That's a good question. The pressure that I always felt to achieve was never from my parents. It was always on myself. They really did affirm my sisters and me. Like, just my dad telling us how beautiful we were, and my
Yeah.
mom telling us how smart we were, even when we're at the table struggling with one-step equations. Like, she didn't care. She didn't care. She was like, you are smart. And I always felt really affirmed by my parents. And I'm wondering, like, at some point, even being affirmed by my coaches, like, at some point you have to believe it yourself. And other people can speak life into you as much as they want, but it has to come from inside.
Yeah.
And I just, like, the best kind of confidence is like internal, something that doesn't really have to do with anyone else. And so I guess, like, trying to internalize everything that my parents have been saying to me over the years was like, hey, yeah, I actually need to believe this for it to work out.
Yeah.
But they were always just so supportive, just so unwaveringly supportive. So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good question.
Yeah.
I'm going to be thinking about that when
Yeah.
I leave here.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, you are truly, everyone is a product of how they grow up, but it's special that, I mean, your parents were such great athletes, and to instill those values in you, and it's clearly like a part of how you took that into your career. But you learned a lot at Michigan, and I saw a photo of you yesterday, you and your sister when you were little, with, I think, was it the 2008? Might have been the 2008 gymnastics team.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it was.
Was Rima there?
I have no idea. I didn't recognize anyone in this photo, but it's like you and your sister, like two little
Yeah.
girls, and then the entire like gymnastics team at Michigan.
Michigan camp.
Yeah, what?
Annual.
Yes. So why Michigan?
You know, it got to the point, I'm from Ipsy, I don't know if I said that. Like, it got to the point where it did not make sense to go anywhere else.
Yeah. Did you grow up a fan?
Yes. It didn't make sense. Because I knew Michigan, the big name, and then I go on this recruiting trip, and I'm like, oh, like, they're going to develop me holistically here. Like, they believe that I have value as a person here, and they need me to succeed also in the classroom. And then they have all these resources to help me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a platform to advocate for the things that I care about. It didn't make sense to not come here. And even just having my support system nearby as well, I feel like is underrated sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, my mom does my hair. She does my hair.
I love that.
She braids my hair. So, like, being able to go home on a Sunday night to get my hair done, come back feeling refreshed and ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, I needed that. I needed that for sure.
Yeah.
So, to me, nothing else made sense.
Yeah. I like the simplicity of your answer, because everyone knows if you go to Michigan, you know the things that you're saying, but like, it's simple. It doesn't make sense to not go here. You have the resources, you have the opportunity to become the best person you can possibly be. You would be crazy not to pick Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Michigan degree means something.
Yes.
And I knew that. Even as a 14-year-old getting recruited, they don't do that anymore. But, like, I knew what that meant.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, you were 14?
I committed, when I was 14. I had a friend that committed when she was 13.
Was that 8th grade? 9th grade?
I was like a freshman in high school.
Wow. That's crazy.
I know. But I'm
How did you-
glad I picked
Yeah.
Michigan.
You're lucky you picked like the right spot. Yeah.
And I also wanted to be a part of building something. Michigan hadn't won a national championship. They won
And
a
you did.
buttload. Yeah, they won a buttload of Big Ten championships. But I got to be a part of the first national championship.
What
team,
year of your college career was that?
2021,
So were you a junior or sophomore?
sophomore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you compete that year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell me what you
It
competed on.
was a ride. I competed all around.
All around?
Yeah, sophomore year I started competing all around.
Wow.
Unreal.
Describe the feelings of winning a national championship.
It's like you just start remembering like everything that it took and how it's worth it,
Yeah.
you know? And then it lights a fire in your butt to go and do it again.
Yeah.
And like you understand why people work so hard towards things because that feeling is just unmatched.
Yeah.
Like on top of the world.
Yeah. Hannah Nielsen, my coach, said that she won 4 national championships. And she said that every single time she won it, you think back to preparing the year before and everything it took. And it's like, it's the best feeling in the world because it makes everything, the hard days, not matter because you get to hold the trophy and say that you won a national championship. Gosh, I'm like getting chills. I wish.
I
Yeah.
just did.
I remember when you guys won the Natty, and I was just so proud because I'm like, I'm not even a gymnast, but I'm gonna be part of the Michigan athletics community and the fact I'm like, this is us. Let's go. Like we won the Natty, and so, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was
I love
amazing.
that. Yeah. So how many years of eligibility did you have? Just a COVID year?
Yeah, 5.
Extra. Okay. So what'd you do for your 5th year?
What did I do for my 5th year? I
For
started
school.
my master's in public policy.
Okay.
Yep. And as I was finishing that second year, that's when I was doing the Big Ten fellowship.
Wow. So, your 1 minute Mondays.
Yeah.
If you had a 1 minute, I don't know if you had. Did you have one from this week?
No.
Okay. Can you give me a 1 minute Monday? You doesn't have to be a minute, but like give me something that's been on your mind maybe that you want to talk about. I just put you on the spot, but
All right. No, I got one.
you got it. Okay.
So, in your life, like, you're going to experience anxiety about the future or about just what's happening right in front of you, right? And something that I've learned is that it's not someone else's responsibility to help you regulate those emotions. Because I think when we have anxiety about things, we want to project them onto other people
Yeah.
and make it about what someone else is or isn't doing. And I think we need to know that we cannot make our anxiety someone else's anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, we have to learn how to emotionally regulate. Yeah. And I think
so hard.
it's so hard. And I think about back when I was an athlete, you'd come into the gym. If something sucky happened outside the gym, you want to come into the gym and tell everyone about it, right?
Yeah.
Why do we do that? Like, why do we want to bring someone else, I guess, like, down to the mood that we're in? Like,
Yeah. Or just like tell people about something negative.
Nothing negative. Yeah. Why do we want to do that? Like, I think the same thing with anxiety. It's like we need to know how to regulate ourselves in order to be the best that we can for other people around us and just to not make everything someone else's problem.
Yeah.
That's something that I've learned this week.
I love that. And I'm like, it's kind of insane to me that you were like, I don't know. Like, like that was wisdom. It's crazy because it's so real. Like, you always want to tell, like, if something like I'm going to go tell somebody, like, it's hilarious. Or like, I just want to like share this thing. But it's
Yeah.
also hard. How do you balance keeping something to yourself and also like needing to rant or needing to vent? And like being a woman is like, that's part of it, you know? Like, you feel like you need to share that. But maybe that's what therapy's for, you know? I guess that's I talk to my therapist. I used to talk to my therapist about all those things. But it is a real thing. Like, you don't even realize you're doing it.
Yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
said before. Going back to the intention of why you're doing things. Is it to get that validation? Is it to get attention? Why do we do why do we do the things that we do?
It's like really scary
Yeah.
to think about. If there's one thing that you would tell someone watching right now that's feeling identity loss or struggle after sport, what would you say to them?
Well, honestly, depending on who they are, I'd probably tell them about Jesus. But I would tell them about Jesus.
Yeah.
Because like
I love
the
that
world
answer.
the world is so fickle. We're so fickle. People are fickle. Feelings are fickle. We change. We're up, we're down, we're this, we're that. I know people say you're the only expert on yourselves, but I don't believe I'm an expert on myself sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. And I look to the one who was always thinking positive thoughts about me. Because I do not always think positive thoughts about myself. So why would I trust myself when I have all these negative thoughts running through my head all the time? He doesn't have any. So that's who I trust, and that's where my identity is, and that's what I would, hope that they would find as well.
Wow. I could like listen to you talk about this all day because one, your voice is really soothing, but the way that you
Thanks.
explain things, it makes sense and it's simple. Like it's complex, it's hard to understand, it's hard to actually put into action, but like it's simple. Like you got to find yourself. And I can learn a lot from you. I think we need to connect and do all these things. And another thing
We're connected, girl.
Yeah, we're connecting. we're connecting on the show. But another thing, I think we need some Gabby Wilson, the LLC merch. And I just
my
got
gosh.
some Hail to Her merch.
No, that's
with
actually so nice.
my face people, my player. But they can make merch for any athlete or any company, and you make a portion of it. And what's so special is like you get to build your brand.
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted to make my player, or my player would make Hail to Her merch for me.
Yeah.
And they do it with so many athletes, but they can help you. And I think it'd be cool to have your LLC, like your own merch. You
No,
can design
I
it
would
yourself.
love that because I actually need a new storefront because I had some merch like with a different provider.
Yeah.
And the site's like shut down, so I actually do need.
No,
I
they
need
do
to.
everything for you. Like they have full-time designers that will literally put, like for athletes, they'll put like your number and your face and all this cool stuff. But for me, I knew I wanted it simple. And I
Right.
think Ava Axelrod, who I also had on the show, is
Yeah.
going to do her training merch. So everyone deserves it. Let's
do it.
That would be so cool. So, but in general, thanks for being here. This is incredible. Your story is amazing. There's so many little things that people can take out of this episode. So
Thanks for having me.
of course, you're the best. Go Blue, girl.
Go Blue.